Last time on CritNet. After taking some time and experimenting with Castiel's box, receiving some strange results in the process, the group turned in for the night. And in the night, Kruz was awoken by two thieves holding him at knife point, demanding that he give them his personal Magitech hammer. After a few minutes of trying to lead them away from it, he conceded and showed them where it was hidden. But it was then that three bronzed men smashed through the roof and tried to kill both the thieves and Kruz. Upon hearing the commotion, the others came to his aid to find him bleeding near death on the floor. The thieves fled and the bronze men chased them down, while the last one made sure that Kruz was left unmoving on the ground. Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of CritNet. Here we have all of our wonderful characters gathered back together. We pick up. Kruz, you have been bandaged by your assistant Dexter after being severely injured in a crossfire attack, some form of assassination attempt / robbery in progress, in which the robbers and assassins began to fight one another while also trying to kill you in the process. Your friends, awoken to the large, clamorous noise, quickly came to your aid, fending off the remaining assassins as several of them escaped. However, you were left very badly bloodied and nigh on death's door when all the smoke finally cleared.
Not once, but twice on death's door.
As you woke up, said, I'm alive. And he said, yes.
Nope.
No. Bah. There you go. And they exited. You wake up. The rest of you, things have calmed down. The smoke has cleared. What do you do?
Where's Dexter right now?
Dexter at the moment is, I believe you sent him to go get more supplies from downstairs. Either that or he has returned and he is with you.
I've been patched up. I'm moving, but I'm sore because I got slashed across the chest and I got my throat cut. I'm going to go down to my shop, grab some hammers and nails, patch up my wall so I can go to bed. Because after I do that, I'm going to bed. I'm going to look at Vall and Parker and Ghastgar and just ask them, guys, help me patch this up so I can go to bed, because I don't know about you, but I need some sleep.
Excuse me, but no.
What the heck was that all about?
You have answers, I hope. What is going on and why?
I'm going to look at him and be like, guys, I don't know. All I know is they wanted my hammer and they're gone, and there's no way we can track them down right now. Those are elite assassins.
What was that hammer? Well, why did they want a freaking hammer?
Can I fill you in on that later?
Nope. I'm wide awake right now.
We could have been safer staying the night at the guild. We came to your place.
Well, in my defense, y'all could have slept through all of that. No, that hammer.
Nope. That was not an option.
I'm sorry, Kruz. You just casually wake up, casually almost get assassinated. Your friends save you. You casually want to just return to bed and then casually wave it off as you all could have just slept through it.
I do. I just want to go to sleep.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to just not really focus on the hammer right now.
What is the freaking hammer? I'm going to pull out the caltrip gun and I'm going to point it at him.
I'm going to take two fingers and move it to the side and say, it's a family heirloom. It's called the Forge Master's Hammer. It's a Magitech hammer. It's nothing really special other than it's a family heirloom.
It's special enough for people to come in here and try to murder you over.
I'm going to point it at his foot and tell him to start talking.
That's really all that's it. I don't know. I have to send some letters to inquire information about what's going on. But I have to be careful of how I trek here because...
Why would they want the hammer?
I honestly don't know. I don't think it's all that special. When I left, I took it with me, and there was no real arguing about it. It was just something my dad used, my grandfather used, my great-grandfather used. It was the hammer that, just kept getting passed down the family.
Hey, Satyr, you think this guy is full of it, too?
I would like to see if he's lying.
Please roll an insight check.
Can I roll a contest that check?
Roll a deception check.
I feel like this is where the DM is like, you guys really just can't get along as a party yet?
Oh, no, this is perfectly understandable.
Oh, that he won. I just critically failed.
Yes, your guts are about to be spilled out for all of us.
All right. Well, actually, if you would like, you can institute the critical gambit if you'd like.
No.
Okay. You have critically failed. Parker. There is something he's hiding, and it is very plain upon his face.
I'm going to purposely miss, but I'm going to shoot the gun and have it teleport a caltrop right in the ground into the wood embedded between his feet. So he sees that this teleports. It doesn't shoot. And he can see what it teleports.
It appears in the ground between you.
Stop shooting holes into my floor.
Why do they want the hammer? What does it do? We almost died for this. This is the least you can do is tell us that.
What are you hiding?
It might be the freaking hammer. It might have been the freaking hammer that developed Magitech.
What?
Go on.
It might be the hammer. I don't know if it actually is.
Well, someone believes it is.
I don't even know how they would have known I have it. My family doesn't even know I'm alive.
I would like to roll I would like to know if...
Yeah, let's just let that dead silence go there for a second. I'm sorry, you're what?
Yeah, so... I just rolled a nat 20!
Okay, I'm sorry, what are you exactly rolling for?
I don't see if this dude is lying.
Yeah, no, he's 100%... I mean, he's... Okay, so similar to Parker, you are able to deduce that he is not letting on... That last statement of this might have been the hammer that developed Magitech this is the hammer that developed Magitech.
Yeah, I got that.
But now I care less about that. I knew that already. What is this about his family thinks he's dead?
Honestly, actually, in that regard, he's telling the truth.
Question. Me being a Hopel resident, I would know the history probably of the Magitech drives, yes?
Yes, you would.
And I would know what particular family this hammer would have belonged to.
Oh.
In the creation of the Magitech drives.
I think I would too. There's no doubt.
Except for Vall. I mean, Vall, roll a history check for me.
Highly unlikely with a 5.
No, the Magitech has just always kind of existed around for you. You don't really care about where it came from.
It's expensive, and it changes hands.
You're a freaking Reinhardt?
I didn't say that.
Then why would you have a hammer? The hammer of the Reinhardts.
And just say that they were your family.
Are you a thief? Were those people sent here to retrieve the hammer back? I am not safe here anymore.
I am not a thief. It was a present from my father when I left. And as far as they know, I died while serving in the military under the Emperor.
Wait. Wait, you're that Kruz?
Yeah.
Could someone fill me in? I am lost.
This part I'm lost on too.
I'm Vall. Ghastgar, what you need to understand is 10 years ago, Kruz Reinhardt was killed. He is the son of the Reinhardts, the last son. This shouldn't be. You can't be Kruz. There's no way.
I'm gonna take the golden clasp off of my cloak and extend out my wings.
He is a dragonborn. He's not a tiefling.
I knew that you smelled too weird to be a tiefling.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Why hide it? Why lie?
Well, if you notice, I don't look like other dragonborns. And I'm not the last son of the Reinhardts. I do have a younger brother. And he's the heir of the Reinhardt family, but he looks normal. And my father couldn't have me looking the way I do in charge of the whole corporation him and his father built. So I chose to leave the family and serve with my best friend in the military. And at our last battle, I asked him to send a letter to my family saying that I have died so I could disappear and they could be rid of me.
Kruz, can I ask you a question?
I have a feeling I know where this is going, but sure.
Why go home? Why come back to your hometown if you're trying to hide and run?
Because if you haven't noticed, Hopel is very divided. The Reinhardts never leave their district. And if they do, it's only to the Imperial Castle or to other royal families to do business. But if any other business comes their way, they make those people go to them. I could knock on their front door as a merchant and they wouldn't even recognize me. So I asked my best friend, who is also now the Emperor, that he could cover my butt, and he gave me the money to build this shop. And that's also why my equipment is, if not as good, better than the Reinhardt stuff. Because I spent the whole first part of my life learning from my father and grandfather.
But you had the world in front of you.
No, I had a lifetime of servitude in front of me.
No, when you chose to die, you had the world in front of you. And you chose to stay.
Well, I don't want to abandon everything. I also have my best friend here, and I need to stay near him in case anything happens.
I'm sorry. Your best friend is the Emperor.
Well, my father was the confidant and right hand to the previous emperor, and me and the prince at the time grew up together playing soldier in the halls and practicing with wooden swords and everything under the sun, and that turned into blacksmithing work, soldier work. I did my squireship next to him. I did the whole shebang, and my father was not proud because he wanted my talents to be used to serve my brother as his second in command. Now, can we patch up the hole in the wall? Where am I still sitting on the ground at the moment?
I would have surmised at this point that you've stood at least.
We can patch the hole in the wall, and I think we're sleeping in shifts, and you are taking first shift, bud.
I just got my throat slit. I can't get a little sleep.
Nah, you're a dick.
No. I second this for Ghastgar. Obviously, we should let the guy who will drop it a stone's throw stand watch on his own murder scene. Because obviously his tactics at playing dead full stopped at remaining as Kruz and introducing himself as Kruz, the dead man, with armoring talents outside the Reinhardt's door. Something tells me they knew the entire time. And that is why the assassins came.
They did not know about me.
That's what you think.
I can take first watch of it.
At that, Ghastgar just runs over to the nearest bookshelf in the room, rips out the shelf that's holding up all the books, letting all the books just flutter down to the floor, and then goes over to the wall and starts banging some nails in and starts patching up the hole with this one board and says, "I've done my part," and then walks downstairs and goes to bed.
Kruz is gonna pinch the bridge of his nose and say, "I have wood downstairs." What? that was imported wood from Be Freed. Thank you. It's not at all cheap. Nice.
I made your wall better.
That cost Dexter an entire month's pay. Okay. Hearing that,
Wow.
I shoot my caltrip gun at a spot in his body that would be nothing more than a nuisance.
I'm hearing 1 point a day.
Hey,
Okay. Roll to attack.
I'm gonna say, hey, it was a present. I didn't take his money.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 10. I don't think that
It passes harmlessly by and sticks into the board that you just made and patched the wall up with.
I put an extra nail in.
That's what I'm gonna say. Hey, that was a freaking present. I see how it is.
Sounds like it was more. It sounds like it was copping his pay.
No, it wasn't copying his pay. I'm not that big of a bastard. I'm going downstairs and get supplies. I'm getting boards, hammers, nails, supplies.
Kevin, while you're away, I'm going to call Ghastgar and have Vall over.
What up? Maybe James' headphones off.
Yep, go for it.
What do you think about what's going on?
Man, this is sketchy. I don't like this much heat and attention.
Agreed.
I would never trust Kruz to ever attempt to hide me or anyone.
Agreed.
Not only has he lied about who he is, but he's attracting very dangerous attention.
If anybody want to help him, I feel bad if we just ditch him and totally leave, because obviously he's not very capable of protecting himself for a trained military man. Should we just patch up the hole in the wall and dip out to the guild hall?
So that's the thing I've been trying to wrap my brain around. He's friends with the Emperor. He is heir to a wealthy family. What is he doing in a guild? Why is he here? What does he want? What is he doing?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I know if my best friend was the Emperor, I wouldn't be down here in a guild.
Hey, Vall, do you think this guy's loaded? Vall, do you think...
Look around you. I would think not.
Good point.
It's about this time that you hear footsteps returning as Kruz begins to ascend the stairs.
I vote we stick with him.
And I'm yet to be decided.
Am I back in the room?
Yes, you have re-entered the room.
I'm going to drop a whole bunch of boards, and I have like a carpenter's belt with nails put in the pockets and stuff, and I have multiple hammers, so I'm going to just hold them out to everyone, and, well, Ghastgar doesn't need them. So
You know, I can take care of that if you want.
I'm going to jump because I didn't know Dexter was back up here.
I was always up here. I had just gone to get some things, and then I came right back.
Okay.
Also, Kruz, just go sleep this off. You don't need to do full-time carpentry in the middle of the night.
I'm just putting a few boards over this so we can call it good, and then I'm probably going to go downstairs and sleep on the couch. But I am debating about sending Dexter to the guild hall and closing up shop, staying the rest of the night at the guild hall.
Would he even be allowed in? I don't think that he doesn't got one of these. And I show whatever sort of symbol that we have to prove that we are a part of the Guild of No One.
The symbol of no one, yes.
I'm going to talk to him about letting me have a guest for the night, or if not, then Dexter, you want to join a guild?
No, I make the weapons. I don't usually use them, but
I don't think you have to go down in the dungeon to be part of the guild.
That's not what being a guild member is about.
Well, I'm pretty sure they have supply. Either way, I just don't think it's safe to stay here the night because...
Okay, yeah, no, I'll come with you, just if anything, to make sure that this doesn't happen again, because this looks like it was a lot.
I'm going to say I'll be right back, and I'm going to drop the tool belt and everything and run downstairs.
Ghastgar follows.
You know, if you want, we don't... never mind.
When I get downstairs, I'm just going to go into, like, a side office, somewhere that, like, I do all the books and management and everything.
You try to do that, but Kruz, I need to talk to you.
Okay.
Look, in all transparency, you've been an absolute douche who seems like he's trying to be cool. You seem like you're trying to be nice and welcoming and hospitable and all, but you're really just kind of a douche. Really, man? You think you're smart, you think you're intelligent, you think you're wonderful and kind, but you've been nothing but rude to the Dexter, the guy who literally just bandaged you up since the moment we got in until he's just come in here with bandages to bring you back from the edge of death. You've lied to us about who you are this whole time. You wouldn't be open and honest with us about that, and you expect us to have faith in you as we go dungeon diving down into the fracture with you. Are you freaking nuts? Are you out of your mind?
Well, me and Dexter have a relationship where he knows that I'm not really actually that mean to him. I don't remember getting your life story either, so who are you to lecture me about giving you every secret in my closet? Should I bust out all the skeletons for you? Because there's a lot. And secondly, yeah, Dexter just patched me up. I'm not going to leave him here tonight, so I do want him out of here. Thirdly, I figured I'd come down to the office, get enough wages to make sure he has somewhere to set up if the guild can't give him room.
Look, man, I almost died for you to protect you against whatever that was all about. And when we started trying to ask you questions about it, to know what the heck we are now into, if we are going to be with you, if that's going to be the stuff that is happening to us all the time, we need to know some stuff, man. You need to be forthcoming when we ask you questions. I would have been very forthcoming if you would have asked me, what's up with you? Dude, what the heck?
Well, seeing how this is the first time this has happened in, I don't know, 10 freaking years, this is kind of a shock to me too. So, no, I didn't know this was going to happen. This is not a normal occurrence. This is completely new and out of the blue. And yeah, I got screwed up because I woke up in my bed with a knife to my throat. Who, in fact, I tried to convince in every single way to look outside of you going into your guys' room. I gave him every direction to go outside of that, and I got my throat cut for it. So, yeah. I'm so sorry that, you guys almost died when I was the actual person that nearly did. You don't even have a scratch on you.
Fair point. But dude, do not lie to us ever again. You were trying to lie to us to keep stuff hidden that we needed to know.
I never once tried to lie to you. I just tried to omit the complete truth because yes,
lies of omission are still lies. At that, I'm going to turn around and walk away and go help.
And I'm just going to say, okay, so can you explain why you're a talking mongoose?
Actually, I really want to know that myself, and I'm really ticked off that I don't know. I escaped some lab. See this little flashing device right here? If I click it, I will disappear and I will yeet off into another place. You're lucky I didn't do that the first sign of danger, and I walk away.
Kruz, please roll an insight check.
That is a 19.
His spitback of that comment was completely honest. Like, he doesn't know, and he would love to know himself. For whatever that might resonate with you.
Okay, so I'm going to go into the office, open the safe, and get a few hundred credit chips, probably like 3 or 4, trying to think how many nights that will cover for Dexter to stay at a hotel if he's not able to stay at the guild with us.
The normal cost is about a credit a night.
I'm going to get him 200 for just...
If you want a cheap one.
I'm still going to get him 200 credits because food or anything else he needs, I'm going to make sure he's paid for.
Okay.
I'm going to lock the safe, and then I'm going to grab a pen and paper and scribble down a note. And I'm going to seal it with a wax seal, and I grab my Reinhardt seal, and I'm going to seal the letter with it. And I'm gonna return. Right. I'm gonna return upstairs, and I'm gonna when I get upstairs, I'm gonna hand Dexter the letter and the credit, and I'm gonna say, Dexter, this is in case you can't stay at the guild. When he turns over the letter, he sees that it's got the Emperor's name on it. This is for your hotel, food, everything you need. Try to find the cheapest hotel that you think will be safe, and everything else should be covered. If you run out, just tell the guild to contact me or come back here to see if I'm here. If the shop is still closed up, I haven't fixed anything, but I'm going to try to make this place as safe as possible before we return to work.
All right. Okay, I can do that.
Okay. And I'm gonna look at Huum, Vall, Parker, and is Ghastgar up there with him?
Yep, I'm patching hole.
I'm gonna say, okay, guys, Ghastgar was right. I should have told you guys who I was because we are a team now, and we need to be more forthcoming with each other. And yes, I am the eldest son of the Reinhardts. And no, this is not a normal occurrence. They have no idea I'm alive. I chose this city because I didn't want to leave it, and I want to be close if the Emperor ever needs me. I'm also here developing new technology, as you've seen in my sword and shield, because Magitech's drying up, and we got to find new ways. We got to find new sources of energy. We got to find new stuff, and my weapons all work from kinetic energy. They store and disperse it, while also having the ability to use Magitech if needed. So that's why I'm here. I joined the guild to dungeon dive to find new materials to hopefully work and develop new technology to help Hopel, to keep it at the top, to make sure that if Magitech fails, our Emperor has something else to fall back on.
I'm hearing you're pushing for hybrids when the big Magitech industry is trying to shut you down.
Well, seeing how the only person that knows about my hybrids is the guy that gave us the box and you guys. So...
The other team?
The people we had drinks with. They now know about it too.
Mardina's fine.
I hope you're right. But
mongooses are an extremely good judge of character.
Okay.
I'm amazed you've stayed dead for 10 years. A couple drinks and you spill all of your life secrets. I don't understand.
I didn't spill all of them. I just spilled the one secret. And
the worst one.
And I'm sober now, so this is completely heartfelt and from the heart and really hard for me. Can you guys know that freaking Now Dexter's getting most of the story too. And that dude's my assistant. I trust him with my life.
Yeah, I didn't know all of this. I knew bits and pieces. Mainly the fact that he actually wasn't a tiefling, but not that he was the lost son of the Reinhardts.
No, there's no lost son. They think I'm dead. Like, I'm tech.
Oh yeah, the lost. Yes.
Lost to the world of the living.
But yeah, so no, this is not a normal occurrence, which means also that either somebody knows that I'm alive in the Reinhardts, or somebody's attacking the Reinhardts that knows I'm alive. So, yeah. Hey, Dexter, we're gonna head out to the guild tonight. I would like you to go find a hotel while I talk to the guild, so you have a backup plan and know where to go.
Can I come with you first? I really don't want to be on my own at any given point during this. This shook him. Like, Kruz is the strong, burly blacksmith who pounds out weapons all day, who is a former military man, who just about got killed tonight. And what is he but someone who knows how to make a weapon, not even to use it? And so at this point, he's sorely outnumbered by anything. And so he's genuinely terrified.
Dexter, go downstairs, get your hammer and the sword I made you, and you're going to put them on your waist as we walk. Because if people think you're armed, they won't mess with you.
Okay, I'll go do that.
When all this settles down, I'm putting you through soldier's training. So you actually know how to use the sword I made you.
All right. But for tonight, we need to get somewhere safe, because if they come back, I don't want to have to try to use it.
Okay.
Hey, Vall, you think we should do some sort of investigation outside before we just march out?
We have the apparatus that one of the groups threw on the floor, correct? That created the smoke?
You have the glass shards, yes, of 2 of them.
And I have my piece of evidence.
I do have to ask, how do you gather the broken vials?
Who was gathering, by the way? Does anyone remember?
No one gathered them, they were just there.
Well, I guess Vall will have gathered them by himself if no one else had picked them up. They're suspicious.
How do you gather them?
Well, Vall will take out a slip of paper, slide it under the remnants, and shuffle it, like you would if you had like actual broken glass on the ground, and proceed to shuffle it until he got as much as he could on his paper, and take it from the corners, pinch the sides, roll it up, and fold it in the shape of a crude, boxy teardrop.
And you do it individually to both?
Mm-hmm. To both.
Very, very good. Okay, thank you very much. You have acquired both of those pieces of evidence, along with the very long piece that you also keep at the moment by your side. Still glowing purple, ever so slightly in your grasp.
Is Kruz in a good enough position to take a flight?
I mean, you could if you would like.
I'm gonna put my hand on Dexter, and I'm gonna say, Dexter, before we leave, I'm gonna go take a flight and make sure that there is nobody around watching us.
I would not suggest putting yourself alone in the air with someone who can, and he points to your bed in the hole that has been seared through it, most likely shoot through the air.
I'm going to look at Ghastgar and go, want to go for a ride?
Hard pass.
Well then, Dexter, I guess I will take your advice. I just want to make sure these people are well away from us, because whatever that automaton was has me nervous.
I understand you want to make sure they're away from us, but if you're the thing they're searching for, then you fly right next to them, they just kind of find their target again. It would seem. I'm no military expert.
I think their target was the hammer.
Regardless, we are wasting time. And if any of them were to come back, they will find us here. I will scout ahead, but I will stay within aiding distance of the rest of you.
Yes, we should go.
We're going straight to the guild hall, right?
We are going straight to the guild hall.
I'm going to my wardrobe. And getting my armor downstairs to get my equipment.
Vall, you should probably find a sheath for that glowy sword if you're wanting to be sneaky.
I'm going to look at Dexter and say, Dexter, you're better at leatherwork than I am. Would you mind making him a sheath?
I could throw one together very quickly if you'd like.
A crude one is fine.
I do not need one. Huum will take what's left of your bloody bed sheet and wrap the sword up in it.
That does conceal the glow of the blade. Well done.
Why do you think we need to craft everything? We do not have the time. It is time to go. I will lead. You will follow.
Oh, you're leading. Okay, then I will. If you're taking vanguard, I'll take rear guard.
And I will sneak out.
I need perception checks from both of you.
Yes.
I'm going to collect my things from my room as well.
Yes, everyone will collect their things quickly and continue on.
Make sure Dexter. I'm gonna look at Dexter and say, Dexter, grab the go bag, because every military person has a go bag. And I'm gonna say, grab my go bag, grab your go bag. Make sure you have your stuff. And are we waiting at the front or back door?
Which is the more sneaky?
Back door leads out right through the testing zone. There's a back gate that leads into the alley.
Then we will head up that way.
All right. I, for my perception check, rolled an 18.
Doop-a-doop-a-doo. I rolled a 25.
Nice.
Making your way through the dark night streets of Hopewell, you find very few people around. You see very lowly lit lamps lining the streets. You see a passing human with a small satchel on his back, moving from one place to another, probably doing some very, very early morning deliveries. But other than that, the streets are quiet. There is no noise and there is no other people you run across from the moment you leave the Tin and Tang till the moment you reach the Guild Hall of Hopewell, save for the 2 guards who guard the gate between the Swarf District and the Pin Feather District. They ask no questions as they see you, recognize, and then allow you passage. And upon reaching the Guild Hall, you enter to see it completely empty, except for completely empty of the secretaries and completely empty of the people hustle and bustle. You do see several of the prism-clad armored guards slowly walking around the interior to try to avoid falling asleep at guard, because it's not exactly the most exciting shift of the day. But as they see you, they nod. One of them does approach. Badges, please.
Vall will pull his out.
Likewise.
Kruz will as well, and I'm going to say this is my assistant. He is my guest tonight.
Very well, but just for the night. And he continues on his route.
I'm going to start heading towards the door of no one's.
The door opens to the left this time, instead of up or to the right. And as you enter, it is quiet. There's small embers in a smoldering furnace. The smell of freshly cooked food still hangs lazily in the air. All of the doors are shut. Everything is quiet. There's no one here. What do you do?
I'm going to find a room, and I'm going to say, Dexter, any unoccupied rooms you're welcome to sleep in.
After trying several doors, he does end on door 13. It opens. He finds his way inside. After a brief look around, he settles into the bed and begins to stare stare at the ceiling for a quick moment before pulling out the book that he had. Remembering that the door is open, he does go and close it, but not all the way. Keeps it open just a crack. And then you hear his footsteps fade back to the bed, of which there's a springy creaking as he apparently lays back into it. The rest of you are free to find your way to your rooms, where perhaps a fitful sleep awaits you. But you are all well rested as the morning dawns in Hopewell once again.
Hey everybody, this is Cornish, your audiomancer for Critting It. I just want to take a little time out to ask you to do a couple of things for us. Find us on Twitter and follow us if you haven't already. We are at crit_n_it. Also, if you could please leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Google Podcasts or wherever else that you find us, it would help other people find us and get the story out to others. And speaking of the story, let's hop back into it.
You all wake up, freshly slept. What do you do?
I'm gonna check my bandages, make sure I didn't bleed through anything. How am I looking?
You're looking better. A night's sleep definitely did you well. There's a few little blood stains on the ground or on your bed from when you tossed and turned, maybe reopened a cut or two, but overall you can see that you're on the mend.
Okay, good stuff.
I think Ghastgar woke up just a little bit early, a little bit restless, and has attempted to make some food that is probably of questionable taste.
Okay. There are ingredients within the cupboards and within the area, the drawers and such, that you do not recognize. There are fresh eggs, herbs that probably were gathered the day before, but there are some very strange and unusual things. What are you using to make breakfast?
I think I'm taking an egg and I'm trying to batter some sort of meat protein or whatever I think might be a meat protein and fry it up and called it chicken fried meat.
Make a intelligence check.
Oh my gosh.
While Ghastgar's cooking, can I peek out of my room for anybody and then sneak into Dexter's room?
Okay. First, what was your cooking?
Roll. It was a dirty 20.
Nice.
But I do want to emphasize that I am cooking according to a mongoose's taste buds.
Wonderful. All right. Well, Kruz, please make a stealth check.
Oh, that's not bad. I rolled 17.
Okay. You beat everyone's passives and are able to make it quietly into Dexter's room. Dexter is completely asleep, book on chest. He's kind of curled up with it.
All right, I'm going to put a hand on Dexter and I'm going to slightly nudge him and just be like, Dexter, don't jump, Dexter.
You see him lull into consciousness. What?
Okay, I need you to wake up for just a second.
What?
Okay, Dexter, look at me. If you get a chance, I kept trying to hint to it last night. I need you to take that letter to the palace and give it to nobody but the Emperor.
Okay, I can do that. Do you need me to go now or in a little bit?
No, I need you to do it when everybody won't suspect you.
All right.
There's not a lot of pressure. I just need you to get there. Make sure to be armed in the streets and go out like you're getting food or something. You have plenty of credits. Tonight's the only night you could be here, so I need you to just make an excuse like you're going to find a hotel room or something. Let me say, Dexter, do you have any friends in the city?
Yes. I got one friend. He's down in the Oh my goodness.
Wake up.
Right.
Wake up.
Rhine Metal District. At least he works
Okay.
there.
Well, if you need to contact him for him to go with you, and contact him, or if you don't feel like going alone.
As long as it's daylight, I should be fine. This trek to the palace is very open, and I can't imagine I'll run into many people trying to attack me in broad daylight.
Okay, well, make sure you stay on main streets, no alley shortcuts.
Of course. Okay, I'll make sure the letter gets to Xanadu.
Okay, and I'm gonna stand up and say, I'm gonna go out and see what everybody's doing.
All right. And he gets up and follows you out.
Okay. And we're gonna go out and see what Ghastgar's doing, because I could hear him in the kitchen.
Wonderful. All of you wake up to a very peculiar smell. Have you ever woken up on a beach or like in a hotel by the beach and there's a wonderful sea breeze coming in, and once you wake up and you take a big whiff into it and you're immediately able to say, wow, there's a dead whale on that beach. That is the smell that wafts through the air at the moment. Pungent smelling of fish, very, very strongly of fish. It, if anything, rouses you to wake up even faster.
Kruz is gonna let out cough and go, oh,
Breakfast is served,
I
guys.
think I'm just gonna have coffee.
Oh, I got that here too, and I slide over a very weak-looking pot of coffee.
It's almost transparent.
Ghastgar, what is this smell?
Oh man, it's Kentucky Fried Fish, man. This is a mongoose's dream, dude. This is our jam. You should totally have this. In fact, you should have it with some.
What's a Kentucky?
Obviously, it is a mongoose name. Traditional.
You know, I hear it's the homeland of all mongoose.
Interesting. I'm learning more about the mongoose's origin.
Parker and Kruz, I want you two to make nature checks real quick.
Oh no. I got an 11.
Ooh, I got a 12.
Okay, neither one of you know the origin of these eggs.
I'm gonna look at Parker and just shrug like, I don't know, man.
I'm holding up a plate with eager anticipation. Hey, Kruz, you suffered a lot of blood loss. This ought to help you.
I'm a dragon. I like fish, so I'm like, all right, screw it. I'm gonna grab the plate and sit down. I'm gonna nudge the coffee pot to Parker and say, do you want to go at making coffee, or should I?
I still don't trust you.
To make coffee.
To make coffee? Do you think I'm gonna poison you?
No, you in general. I can't get my finger around it. I don't trust you anymore.
So, do you want to make coffee, or should I? Because I don't know what I can do to make you trust me other than have your back when you need it.
We will see.
Vall walks over to the monstrosity Ghastgar has created, takes a big old scoop out of it, and just walks away.
Good, ain't it? And I just take a big bite, and I am thoroughly pleased with my dirty 20 cooking skill.
Surprisingly, with any of you who actually taste it, it's one of those tastes better than it looks things, and it is actually very, very pleasing. It honestly tastes like a very well-cooked caviar-like egg. It just smells awful.
Does one cook caviar?
I said eggs, I didn't say what kind of eggs they were. Okay then, well, now that Huum, you've snagged your bit of food, fresh pot of coffee is being served, the rest of you, what are you doing? And at the end of having taken some very tentative bites at first, but devouring the rest of his omelet, Dexter does stand up and excuse himself. And I better get going. I have to make sure that my good friend in the Rhine Metal District is taken care of at the moment. I was supposed to meet with him for a apprentice thing.
Question. Is Relic around?
Relic at the moment is not around. at least in the general area.
Anybody seen Relic this morning?
The only people I've seen is you guys.
I hope he had breakfast. I made enough for him too, figuring we came in last night, smelt the food that was made, and I figured that he would be here, but I guess not.
I'll go check the other rooms, and I'll stand up and start walking and knocking on the rooms that I know wasn't occupied last night.
Okay, Parker, what were you about to do?
I would like to wait for the outcome of what Kruz is doing, actually.
Okay. As you do on the 14th door, a voice does echo through there. What is it?
Ghastgar made breakfast. Are you hungry?
Yeah. Hold on. Be out in a second. You hear a very loud creak from inside the room.
I'm just gonna start heading back and say, sounds like Relic's here. He's just getting up.
Excellent. Hey, what'd you guys do to this coffee?
I made it like coffee's supposed to be made. Not transparent.
Holy cow, you tall folk need some strong stuff. This stuff would leave me wired for days.
This is just enough to wake us up.
I approve of this 100%.
And notice Kruz is a little darker than normal. Like, this is... The normal person would call this asphalt, but it's perfect for Kruz.
Okay. It only takes for, about a minute before Relic lazily opens the door and the large, old, wrinkled turtle begins to shamble his way out. And... Someone's been cooking garlic eggs. My favorite. And he goes down and he just sits down, starts eating one of the omelets and just... My compliments to the chef.
Ghastgar's tail just kind of twitches back and forth happily.
How's everyone doing in the kind of leans an arm on the table, and you see his eyes narrow as they fall upon Kruz. Kruz, you're looking a little bloody this morning.
Yeah, staying at my house last night turned out to be a little hazardous. That normally doesn't happen, but
Hazardous.
I ran into a few issues.
What do you mean you ran into a few issues?
Should we tell him what happened last night?
More like they ran into him.
What do you mean?
Hey, have you ever seen a sword like... Hey, Huum, Vall, do you still have that sword on you?
Relic, is there anybody able to listen to... Anybody outside of us able to listen inside the library?
I can personally assure you that ain't no one listening in to a word spoken within these walls. Each guild lobby is distinctly created to make sure that one cannot spy on the other. By no means. And I've personally seen this through.
Then I will take your assurance for it. And he will unfurl the sword and dump it on the table.
Well, now, what do we have here?
I got the sharp end of that, and it was wielded by a really big, glowing automaton.
At that, you see his head snap to you.
And what were they doing in the Tin and Tang?
Well, they were preceded by two tiefling, if I remember correctly, assassins bent on stealing my hammer.
Wait a second. Two tiefling assassins.
And I'm gonna tilt my head so we can see the cut on my neck. And I said, they meant business.
Now, okay. Tell me what happened step by step, were they working together? Were they fighting themselves? Were they all out there just to kill you? What were they after?
So the two assassins showed up first. They showed up after I went to bed. They wanted my hammer. And then when they got what they wanted and were trying to make their escape, two automatons crashed into my building, started fighting the tieflings. I wounded one of them by throwing a dagger into her shoulder. And then they used a few different smoke techniques to break out. And
Techniques like what?
Whom will take out package 1.
You see him take it delicately in his hand, kind of move his fingers around and hear the crushed glass.
But since there was only 2 automatons, they started fighting off the other 2. They didn't have any interest in you?
No, the automatons attempted to kill me.
Were they trying to kill you first, or were they trying to kill the assassins first?
One of them, it's hard to remember with everything that was going on, but I'm pretty sure they tried going after the assassins first and then killed me, tried to kill me. I don't want to say interfered, but because I literally just threw a dagger into the shoulder of the assassins and then they turned on me.
Doesn't make sense. Why would?
What do you know about this relic?
See his hand kind of tighten around the small package. And he looks at the sword and he picks it up again. And he looks it over.
Were there any that used firearms of any sort?
Yeah, one of them burnt a shot right through my bed. I can't remember who, but like I said, everything was going a little crazy last night.
Kruz, you are lucky to be alive. I have to tell you now, this...
And he kind of unfurls the pieces of paper that hold the vial. And he displays it, being very careful not to touch the glass.
There's only one group that uses these kind of vials.
You see him begin to, just ever so slightly with the tip of his kind of curved nail, pick apart and show you a piece of a thicker piece of glass and a thinner piece of glass.
Dual-vialed potions. And with a sword I can tell you right now is of Deodovan make, and not just any Deodovan. This is some of the royal guards, Deodovan. I've heard rumors, hearsay, of an elite group they call the Bronzed Men. They have run about quietly. There's only been mild sightings around the city. Very few ever whisper of them for fear that they'll become their next target. But this,
and he points to the glass.
This was known and is used by a small group known as the File Wraiths. These are another group of expert assassins. They kill people without trace and without notice, leaving very little evidence behind. The only reason why they're even remotely known about is because they were in a whispering about 3 years ago when a fairly popular Deodovan became ill and died. And it became the talk.
So they use poisons.
Poisons is what they said. But what actually happened is I heard back at the guild hall, because within these 4 walls we can say what is actually true. Someone came to us, told us I wasn't poisoned. It was a stab wound. Middle of the night, never suspected a thing. And only one man saw him as they disappeared out into the night, leaving behind, very similar to this, a single broken vial with dual-layered glass. Some sort of a concoction that when broken they mix to become something.
Huum will then take out the second package.
He once again takes it and opens it up, finding the same.
Kruz, I don't know how you've gone and done it, who you wronged or how much you owe them. But you, my friend, are in some deep trouble.
I haven't wronged anybody or done or stolen anything.
Or someone thinks you have. Otherwise, they wouldn't have sent these.
Somebody, they were there for my hammer. Bottom line, they wanted the hammer.
What is this hammer of yours?
I don't feel comfortable telling you that, Relic. I don't want to put you in more danger than I already have. And these guys were there, so they know. So, guys, should we bring Relic into this?
I hand Relic a second helping of food at the same time that I hand one to Kruz and say, we're on the same team.
And I'm going to take a big bite of his omelet because fishy flavor, yummy. And I'm going to unclasp my wings and let him out, and I'm going to tell him the whole story, everything these guys know. After I tell him everything, I'm going to fold my wings back up and put the clasp back over the two, fingers that hold my wings together.
Okay.
And go back to being a tiefling with a cape on.
When Relic started talking about the bronze men, Ghastgar's ears perked way the heck up. That's got some significance that I'll reveal now. Relic, you said bronze men. Remember my friend Bartholomew I asked you to keep an eye out for?
Yeah, I remember. I haven't seen him yet.
One of the last things that he said to me before he disappeared was to beware of the bronzed men.
That's not good. That doesn't bode well. If your friend was in fact referring to the bronze men, I'm sorry to say, but I don't think your friend is gonna make his way to this guild hall anymore.
Would they have taken him alive? Is there any chance he would have been captured and taken away? I mean, he was a pretty knowledgeable guy in the underworld of this city. Obviously, he knew about them. Maybe he knew other things that they would like to know.
It is a possibility. Everything I've told you is secondhand. Wherever they would have taken him, if he is still alive, I couldn't tell you. Not a soul in this city could, except for they who are working there. They who ordered it. And we don't even 100% know that they are working for the Deodovan. Just that what they are made of is from the Deodovan.
And some pieces seem to be falling in place. If these guys are from Deodovan, and that hammer is from the Reinhardts, I know the Deodovan and the Reinhardts don't exactly see eye to eye, and they're a little bit of opposing forces these days. I bet they had... I bet that there's something here.
But if the Deodovan sent the bronze men, then who sent the assassins?
The Reinhardts.
Why do you think my own family would send assassins to kill me?
Because they want the hammer back.
And you're a disappointment.
If they found out that I'm still alive, then wouldn't they just come and talk to me? We didn't part on bad terms.
Now, you parted as dead, so they wanted to leave you as such.
Why complicate matters?
Guess if you're a father of a disappointing son and find out that he didn't actually die, killing him would be a free murder, because you can't kill somebody that's already been killed.
You are the one who signed your own death certificate.
Yeah. See, I just want to disappear and live my own life. I didn't want to live it under the shadow of the Reinhardts. All that is a gilded cage.
Sounds like you're still living in one.
but it's one of my own choosing.
That doesn't sound great.
I would rather choose my own path than have it chosen for me.
At this, Ghastgar unconsciously takes a swig of the full strength coffee.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh, it's nasty.
Do I need to roll like a constitution
Roll a
saving
constitution save just for a small light moment amongst this.
Oh my goodness. That is an 8.
It's a big swig. It's a big swig.
Ghastgar, wait! Too late.
Yep. And then Ghastgar, your cheeks are filled with sludge-o coffee.
All the fur on down my spine just slowly raises up. My pupils dilate a little bit, and my claws just like come out just a little bit, and you see me just vibrating almost.
Relic slowly brings his head into his shell.
Kruz picks up his shield and hides behind it.
Hey guys, do you feel like going and killing some bronze men? I sure do.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Okay. Not gonna spit it on me. Okay, good. Okay, to that statement, I say don't even try it. If these things have been remaining a myth for a long time, it means they're at least good at killing things. How did you get this sword? There's a matter of that.
I simply took it.
Was there any reaction to it?
There was a reaction. He was the final bronze man to leave. I presume chasing after wherever the other assassins had gone. But before he left, I took it off of his person, and he stopped, stared me down, and then left.
We knew you took it, and he still left.
Can I tell if it's running off of a Magitech drive?
Upon examining it earlier that night, you did determine that it was running off of a second level Magitech drive.
Can I tell if it's the spell that's on it is a location, or is it a tracking spell at all so they can always find this weapon?
Make an Arcana check with advantage.
Okay, come on. So that's a 15 and a 9. I'm taking the 15.
Okay. And what's your intelligence?
12.
In looking over the weapon, you do determine the Magitech is mainly used for the striking aspect. However, you also do notice that beneath the Magitech drive, there is a secondary drive that was hidden away in a compartment with a DC 15.
I'm going to slide it to Ghastgar and say, hey, Ghastgar, want some Magitech drives?
Yes.
Who said they were yours?
Can I pull this apart? Can I please?
I'm just gonna say
Oh boy.
I can't tell what the second Magitech drive's doing, but I can tell that the first one is powering like an extra strike aspect, probably strengthening the blows that it's dealt. So I say we pull these Magitech drives out of it, and hopefully it's not a tracking spell, and it will at least disable that, and that way we know that whoever was in charge of those golems, they can't track us past the guild. Or what we could do is leave here and do an obscure area in the city and disable it there so they think we're somewhere else.
Ghastgar looks up with eager anticipation, and it's just like tail is like twitching almost like a cat that's ready to strike is the way I'm imagining it. Just I'm just like, please, 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 please.
Ghastgar, go ahead. Take it apart.
Roll a tinkering check.
All right.
Should you roll it at disadvantage or
No,
advantage?
I think I got advantage on this.
You just roll it straight.
All right. So that's a 16.
16. You quickly dismantle the pieces that would have made up this rather intricate blade at the bottom. You don't necessarily know much about blacksmithing, but man, you know about Magitech and wiring. And you're able to dismantle it very quickly, finding out that the secondary drive is a cantrip drive that is down to 4 charges.
Hey, so this is secondary drive here is a cantrip drive, and it's only got 4 charges left, which means this has been used quite a bit here. So yeah, I mean, like as much as I kind of want to keep it, I mean, this is your loot, man. Hey, here you go. And I hand him back the pieces. I think I've put the knife in back together, but I've left the Magitech drive separate.
Okay, the sword is put back together.
And if you want the main drive back in, it just slots in right here like this. Like it's easy, dude. You just go conk. Twitch, twitch, twitch.
All right, well, I have to at least say, Kruz, Ghastgar, you two need to stay in the guild hall. As much as possible, don't go sleeping anywhere else. I have yet to see a single guild member, no matter how hard tried, be attacked inside the guild by anything that hasn't crawled out of the fracture first. This is the safest place to keep you.
Wait, why do I have to stay in?
Your friend. If he warned you of the bronzed man, he knew something. And if he is captured and he has to start naming names, I don't want your name to be one of them that gets thrown away as who he told about anything. If he was dealing in, like you said, information, and he dealt you information, you might be on one of the lists they come looking for.
But there are fools out there with pockets that are too heavy.
Stay out during the day. Don't go out at night.
And Ghastgar goes back to his room and starts gathering his stuff.
I'm going to say, well, while it's during the day, I got to get that hole repaired. So I have to do some adult stuff. And I have to get some contractors fixing that building. Because if anything, Dexter can run the shop while I'm here. Because I don't think anybody's going to come looking for Dexter. He is my apprentice. He does great work. He can get the shop up and running and keep it running. And at least well enough to support himself.
Well, I will say this. If it was both the bronzed men and file wraiths that fell into that same room at the same time, they're probably not going to come after you for a while.
I'm pretty sure they think I'm dead. They got me really well.
They may think you're dead, but I'm more concerned that they're going to be asking one another. Because I know for a fact they don't like each other. That's one thing I know for certain. So if they find out that they're going after the same target at one point, they might just start turning on themselves.
Oh, that's not a war that we need to get involved with.
No, it is not, which is why I want you to keep low. And if you can, send someone to go deal with the shop, at least for the first day.
Relic, do you have an ink pen and paper anywhere around here?
Oh, but of course.
And he fetches them for you.
I'm going to scribble down some instructions, a note. It's just going to be to Dexter, and it's going to say, the shop comes to you if anything happens to me. The shop is from here until I am able to return completely in your hands. Take good care of it. Keep it running. I'm going to scribble down the confirmation or the code to the safe, and I'm going to fold it up, and I'm going to hand it to Relic and say, if a little white dragonborn comes back, a little silver dragonborn comes back, named Dexter. Give him this letter.
Dragonborn? Are like the kid earlier who was a tiefling?
Yes, sorry. I don't know why I was thinking Dragonborn.
Got it. All right. Perfect. Well, I'll make sure he gets the letter. Before I do forget, especially given everything that has come to light in this very eventful morning of mine, Ghastgar, my name needs to see you personally.
Okay. I yell from the bedroom as I'm getting my last of my things together.
Yeah, sorry, I thought you were standing there. You move fast for a mongoose on caffeine.
Dude, I'm so jacked. This coffee's great.
Good. There is a contract that is coming out that you should look into, speaking to the rest of you. Just, if you take it, make sure you check in with me first.
I'm gonna look at Relic and be like, Relic, do you have anything that can patch up these wounds even better to get me back in fighting shape?
Yes, I do. Give me a moment.
And he stands and he goes to his room, closes the door, and after a little bit of rummaging around, comes out with a very large alchemist's kit. And as he sets it down and he begins to open it, he sifts through and finds several salves that have been pre-made and pre-labeled. He begins to empty some of the bottles onto your bandages, changing them out and putting fresh ones on. And not gonna lie, it does feel good in the end. Hurts a little bit while he's applying them, but in the end, much better.
Feels amazing. Thank you, Relic.
I'm a trained healer. From where I came from, my mother taught me.
Is Ghastgar still in his room?
I think at this point, Ghastgar is getting ready to walk out and go talk to, well, probably more like run out. He thinks he's walking.
Okay. Ghastgar, you skip run out.
Then I'm going to look over at Humball and Parker and say, should we join him?
I look at Ghastgar.
Oh, Ghastgar's out the door. Ghastgar is now single focused on, apparently he needs to check in with my name is before he can go rob people in the streets.
Vall is going to wrap the sword up and head out into the public eye.
Okay.
Parker's mighty curious about this contract for Ghastgar and what it could be.
Right.
I'm going to stand up and throw my shield over my back and my sword around my waist and follow them out.
Okay. Vall, as you're leaving, Relic does turn to you.
If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to keep the vials. I got a little bit of alchemical knowledge, and I'd like to run a few tests on the residue. See if I can't deduce maybe where it came from.
Most certainly, Relic. I have no use for them.
Thank you.
Kruz is going to perk up and say, Relic, if you can deduce what the two chemicals were that made a smoke screen that thick, do you think you can make more of them?
I myself might be able to. It's not exactly my specialty, but I'm sure I'll be able to do something with it. If I do have the ingredients, and if I do know where it came from, I might even just be able to procure the recipe from wherever it did. But I doubt that whoever made this is going to be so forthcoming, I suppose. But first I'm going to do is just make sure that I know where it came from.
So I have 150 credits on me. I'm going to hand him 50 credits and say, if you can find the ingredients, this is all I can give you to provide a few for us, because I really think Vall and Ghastgar can put those two things to a good use.
All right, I'll see what I can do. Thank you.
You see him grab the two pieces of paper, very carefully rewrapped, and bring them into his room. Ghastgar, you bolt out this door, make it to my name is, who is at the moment sifting through two pieces of papers kind of over and over again in her hands.
Hey, I hear you want to talk to me. Hey, can we get this over with? So, because I need to go empty some pockets.
Ghastgar, yes.
Yes.
She reaches beneath her desk, grabs a scroll, lifts it up. It has a blue seal on it, and she hands it to you. I require this contract completed.
What? Okay.
This is a personal contract to which you are beholden to me to complete.
Oh, that piece of paper again?
Yes, that piece of paper.
You are a shifty one.
Not as shifty as the one who had to sign something to get out of trouble.
Okay, here. Give it to me. Yoink.
The rest of you do arrive about at this point where Ghastgar's handed the piece of paper.
Where are we still walking out, or are
Nope,
we?
you guys have arrived behind him.
Oh, okay.
What does it say?
You must find a necklace underneath the or on the second level of the fracture, within the town of Mist and Sweat.
Okay, wait, what? So I need to find a necklace in the fracture?
Yes.
In a town?
In a town.
Ooh.
A town known as Mist and Sweat. It is a silver mithril chain set with a black diamond. You will find it in a red stone building with a blue glass oculus in front.
This is in the fracture.
This is in the fracture. Parker, I would like you to make a history check for me.
Okay.
Kruz, you as well.
A 23.
23, my goodness.
Ugh.
Yeah. 19 plus 2. Sorry, 4 plus 4.
I cannot roll intelligence for the life of me. That's an 8.
What was the name of the
Makes sense.
What was the name of the town again?
Mist and Sweat. MISTINSWEAT. First of all, Ghastgar, do you read this out loud?
I think probably not everything, but it's just being muttered out the big details. Like, find a necklace with silver mithril, black diamond, red stone building, glass oculus, mist and sweat, second floor fracture. Hey, Brett, hey, sounds like I get to steal something.
Parker, at the word mist and sweat, you recall, actually, what that word means around here. This would have been 12 years ago. 12 years ago, there was an attempt by a group of people led by a general down into the second level of the fracture to experiment whether or not a town could be established, like an outpost. Whether or not within the fractures themselves, it could be inhabited. Perhaps they could actually set up townships or trade routes down through the fractures themselves to make trading a little easier. And you would also recall that this is a tragic story. The town of Mist and Sweat was so constantly bombarded by creatures of abnormal size and shape and nature that not only was the entire town destroyed and its residents vanished into thin air, that it was never attempted again.
I say that.
That's cheating. That's roleplay cheating.
That. Verbatim.
Parker announces that as his brain recalls all of his past information.
Behold my narrative MacGuffin.
Ghastgar, did you just say mist and sweat?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. What is your contract? What are you talking about?
I look at my name is like Am I allowed to tell them?
Oh, yes, you are more than welcome to share this information.
She totally wants me to find a necklace for her that down in this town of Mist and Swept, down on the second level of the fracture. It's made of silver mithril with a black diamond, and I'm going to find it in a redstone building with a glass oculus in front of it.
Okay. Kruz is gonna say I've heard of the name Mist and Sweat, but I was on deployment when the whole events of that go down, so I don't know a lot about it. But I just know it's dangerous.
Never heard of it.
Sounds like I get to steal something.
Also, and she produces another contract. This is for the rest of you. You included, Ghastgar, if you so desire. This is a contract on the second level. Ironically, it has been requested by an anonymous benefactor, and it is of the utmost importance.
I'm gonna motion to Parker to go ahead and take it.
I will take it.
Who made you the boss?
I'm just gonna say, man, he doesn't trust me right now, so I'm not gonna take the lead on anything until I earn that trust back.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Reading through the contract, it is a contract requesting the procurement of 3 bastion bells. And the detailed diagram, as you had seen previously with the Nashers and Drools, is instead a very faint outline of about a dozen different creatures, most ranging in the humanoid-esque silhouette. However, having no interior details figured out, and most of them seem very fuzzy and amorphous. As footnotes upon this contract, you would read that these creatures are not 100% corporeal, in that damaging them is going to require some form of silver or silvered material. On top of this, these are very dangerous creatures, and at times can and will not only kill you, but they have a very nasty effect on those whom they wound mortally.